Hi, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to yet another guided newspaper class. We organize these classes thrice a week to help students work on their fundamentals. If you're here, just give me a hi on the chat box so that I know you're there. Okay, hi, technical basic. We'll wait for a few more minutes before I get started. Please let me know if anyone else is here. Hi, Shilpa. So today's topic is about restriction on the new WhatsApp private policy. You guys, if you have joined in, please give me a hi so that I know you're here. Hi, Vandana. Good evening. Okay. I have to still wait. There are more people that need to join. Just for people who are right now joining in, the topic for today is restriction on implementation of the WhatsApp privacy policies. This is about the order that came to Delhi High Court. Okay. Yes. Okay. Anyone else? Just give me a message if you're here so that I can acknowledge your presence. All right. All right. Let's get started then. So, the drill will be usual. You are going to listen to me speaking initially. Okay. And after that, we'll be doing a little bit of guided reading where I'll help you understand the article in detail. Okay, and I hope the resolution is fine now, and I hope that I am also visible. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of guided reading after that, and right after that, you're going to do some guided speaking so that it helps you with your stresses and pauses in the speaking test, right? In the end of the class, you're also going to write sentences. This will help you identify what your opinions are. This will help you use the vocabulary that you learned. That's the agenda of this class. Okay, if there's anybody else who's joined in, please give me a hi on the chat box that I know you're here. Okay, otherwise, just pay attention to what I'm reading right now, and then we'll do guided reading. Okay, yeah. The center on Friday asked the Delhi High Court to restrain instant messenger app WhatsApp from implementing its new privacy policy, which is likely to take effect from May 15. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, in an affidavit filed before the High Court, stated that WhatsApp's new privacy policy was not in tune with the Intermediary Guidelines Rules 2011. Notably, the rules require a body corporate who collects, stores, or otherwise deals with data to issue a privacy policy providing for certain safeguards in addition to imposing various other obligations. The impunged privacy policy violates the 2011 rules, Meaty said. The ministry said WhatsApp's new privacy policy fails to specify sensitive personal data from being collected. Crucially, there's no distinction between personal data or sensitive personal data which is being collected, apart from WhatsApp failing to notify users on details of collection of sensitive personal information. The privacy policy mentions the involvement of third party service providers who may have access to the data. However, the names of these providers and other associate details have not been provided. Okay. This is also the case for other Facebook companies who are allowed to receive and share information about the user from and with WhatsApp. The ministry said, adding, the new privacy policy fails to provide an option to withdraw consent retrospectively. Okay. Okay. The ministry's stand came in response to a petition filed by Seema Singh, represented by advocate Megan, challenging WhatsApp's new privacy policy, which provided for sharing information with third party service providers and other Facebook companies. Okay, how clear was the article to you guys? Just let me know on the chat box. Hi, Anita, Vandana, Shilpa. Hi. Just let me know on the chat box as to how much you understood. What about Anita, Vandana? Just let me know as to how much this was easy to understand. Okay, great. So the intent of the article was pretty clear. It was about, it was not really, discouraging the implementation, but it's just that it said that there had to be restrictions made on this particular policy that was implemented by WhatsApp. Okay, so that's what the ministry said, which is why there is a restriction. There's an order to Delhi High Court that you can't implement this privacy policy. That's what the article is about. It's a little critical. Okay, that's what it is trying to say. That's the intent of the article. Critical. Okay, as in it's trying to criticize the WhatsApp policy that is there. It's trying to criticize, giving its negative points as to why this should not be there. Okay, right. But there were some great words that we saw on the way. We're going to learn them right now. Okay. So we have Aisha Lalit as well. Good job in understanding most of it. Good, Anita. Good job in understanding 50%. That's still good enough. Let's go ahead and understand the article in detail. Okay. The center on Friday asked the Delhi High Court to restrain instant messenger app from implementing. Restrain is to restrict. That's what restrain means. Okay. Restrain instant messenger app WhatsApp from implementing its new privacy policy, which is likely to take effect from May 15th. Okay. So that's what it is. Now, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, in an affidavit filed before the High Court, stated that WhatsApp's new privacy policy was not in tune. Was not in tune. What does that mean? Was not in alignment. That's what it means. Okay. So, this policy that was there did not meet the standards laid by the Intermediary Guideline Rules 2011. Okay, which is why this ministry is against the implementation of these rules. That's the paragraph here. Moving on, notably, so they're defining what those rules are, the rules that WhatsApp didn't mean. These are the rules. The rules require a body corporate, anybody who collects, stores, or deals with data, to issue a privacy policy for certain safeguards of users. Okay, in addition to imposing various other obligations. So there were other rules that were implemented as a part of these guidelines, as a part of these intermediary guidelines. But the WhatsApp privacy policy, the impugned privacy policy violates the 2011 rules. Impugned means anything that's in dispute. Okay, the disputed, as in the one that's in question right now. Okay, so imagine standing in a courtroom, imagine the accused standing in the square. That's impugned. Okay, someone who is disputed right now. So this privacy policy, this disputed privacy policy violates these rules. That's the sentence here. The ministry said WhatsApp's new privacy policy fails to specify types of sensitive personal data being collected. This is the issue here. They are not specifying what data they are collecting from you. Okay. Crucially, very importantly, there is no differentiation between personal data or sensitive personal data which is being collected. So WhatsApp does not distinguish between personal data or anything that's sensitive. Apart from Apart from this, WhatsApp also fails to notify users on collection of sensitive personal information. So there are multiple issues that the ministry is against. One of them being this, that there's no distinction between what is personal and what is sensitive, and they don't tell the users that they're collecting this sensitive information. Okay, impugned means anything that's in dispute, anything that's disputed. Okay, that disputes the truth, some kind of that. Anything that's false, probably that's considered false. That's what is impugned. Okay, as I said, imagine a courtroom, an accused standing there in the courtroom. That guy is accused, right? He's not telling the truth. That's what everyone feels. That's impugned. Okay. Okay, moving on. The privacy policy mentions the involvement of third party service providers who may have access to the data. However, the names of these service providers and other associate details have not been provided. Now, another issue with WhatsApp is that they are involving, as in they are having tie ups with third party service providers for giving personal data of users, but the names of these providers is not there in the privacy policy. That's an other issue. Okay. Now, this is also the case of other Facebook companies who are allowed to, other Facebook companies. This is also the case, as in Instagram, Facebook, the parent companies are also, kind of providers of WhatsApp. So their WhatsApp data goes there as well, and this is also not there at the user end. That's what the ministry said. Okay, and also the most important thing here is that the new privacy policy fails to provide an option to withdraw consent being okay with something. That's consent. Okay, giving consent means you're giving your permission to do something. Withdraw consent, withdraw permission. That's what it means. Retrospectively, what is retrospectively? As in retrospect, when you say that, you're thinking about what you did in the past and you're thinking whether you're doing it, you did it right or no. Okay. So if the user feels that as a user, if I feel threatened about my data, I cannot withdraw consent on the privacy policy. I cannot withdraw that permission that I gave. If I've given the permission, that's it. I cannot change that. So this is also an issue according to the ministry. Okay. Now, one last paragraph before we move forward. The ministry stand came in response to a petition filed by Seema Singh, represented, okay, someone who is held, someone who advocates someone who promotes someone, that's represent, challenging WhatsApp's new privacy policy, which provided for sharing information with third party service providers and other Facebook companies. So that's what the article is about. Now, did you understand the issues that the ministry is trying to raise? Did you understand this? Give me a yes if you did. Yeah. Okay, yes. Vaishali, Lalit, Aisha, Anita, Shilpa. Did you understand this? Yeah. Okay, good. So that's with the article, and I hope you took notes of the words that you learned. Let's quickly revise the learns. Impugned means anything that's disputed, anything that contradicts the truth. Okay. There's another word that we also saw a lot of phrases that we learned here. Here you go. Retrospectively, withdraw consent is something we learn. Provide an option is a good collocation, right? And also, if you can see, there are other good collocations as well. Okay, here you go. Imposing is also a good word, right? Was not in tune is also a good phrase to use. Likely to take effect is also a good phrase to use. These are some words that you learned today. Try writing them down so that you don't forget them. And most importantly, try using them in your writing or speaking. Okay, great, great going, all of you. Nice to have your responses. What you can do now is we'll do guided speaking right now. Okay, so I'm going to pick 4 or 5 words at a time, and you are going to repeat after me in the same way that I'm doing it. Okay, and how does this help you? This helps you in your speaking. Okay, so we're going to do that. You will have to try and imitate whatever I'm doing right now. Okay, great. So after that, we'll do the writing. After that, you can use the words that you learned today. Yeah, great. Okay, so let's get started then with guided speaking. The center on Friday asked the Delhi High Court, asked, okay, not asked, asked the Delhi High Court to restrain instant messenger app WhatsApp from implementing its new privacy policy, which is likely to take effect from May 15. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in an affidavit filed before the High Court, affidavit, okay, affidavit filed before the High Court stated that WhatsApp's new privacy policy was not in tune with the intermediary guidelines. Okay. Okay, moving on. Notably, high tone, notably, the rules require a body corporate who collects, stores, or otherwise deals with data to issue a privacy policy providing for certain safeguards in addition to imposing various other obligations. The impugned privacy policy violates the 2011 rules. Okay, moving on. The ministry said WhatsApp's new privacy policy fails to specify types of sensitive personal data being collected. I'm being a little fast here. Crucially, there is no distinction between personal data or sensitive personal data which is being collected. The ministry said, apart from WhatsApp failing to notify users on details of collection of sensitive personal information. Okay. Did you do it the same way that I did it? Were you able to do it? Give me a yes again, all of you. Good, Binsi, Lalit, Chirag, Shilpa, Anita, Vaishali. Good. It's nice to know that you guys are repeating it the same way. Okay. Okay. Fine. So since you did this, I will also, you can do this with yourself on various newspaper articles that you're doing. Okay. So if you can kind of catch a newspaper article every day and just do this, it will definitely help you in your English, in improving your English, in improving your speech, in improving the way you write, the way you express opinions, everything is going to improve. Yeah, okay. So let's get started with writing now. Okay, you're going to tell me. Okay, now I'm not going to give you a technical question here. You're just going to answer it the way you think of it. Okay, it's a very simple question. Do you think social media boom that's there today? Okay, all the craze about social media, all the craze about interacting with people on WhatsApp, on Instagram, and getting in touch through other social media platforms as well, the other ones that are not so popular as well. Do you think this social media craze will stay or will saturate, as in will not improve at all? So let me know. Do you think yes or a no? As in, will the social media craze stay for longer or will it not? Yeah. Try using any of these words that you learned. Okay, I'm just quickly giving you a skim of the article so that you can take a look at the words. Tell me a yes or a no and tell me the reason why you think so as well. Okay, go ahead. Take effect, was not in tune. These are some great words. Impose obligations, also a good phrase. Retrospect, consent, impugned, all these are great words. Please give me your reason as well. Rakesh, it's good that you're participating, but please give me a sentence maybe. Tell me why the craze will stay in the coming years. And I would also want the others to participate here. Okay, that's good. That's good. Keep giving me your responses. Yeah. Right. So if you think yes, the best way to give your explanation is to say why it will stay and maybe an example of why you think or that supports your reason. Okay. Similarly, if you think no, it won't stay, it will probably die down after a few years, you think why it's not going to stay and tell, maybe give me an example that suggests so. Okay. That's how you elaborate answers. And this probably the question that I asked you is very typical of speaking part 3. Okay. And when you are asked questions like this in your speaking part 3, you have to elaborate as well instead of just saying yes or a no. Okay. So you think yes, Shilpa? It plays a crucial role. PLAYS, Shilpa, not PLACE. Okay, plays a crucial role. So people, don't say folks. So people will continue communication with others. Also, Binsi, try posting your sentence just like what Shilpa did. All right. Okay. Great. So that's with today's guided newspaper practice. I'll see you again on Monday, maybe same time, with another article. Until then, remember what you learned today, implement this in your practice as well. Keep this as a learning habit. Okay, I'll see you again then. Have a nice day. Bye bye.